Good evening, sisters and brothers. Thanks for your support in the previous episodes. Now we move to the first things first, episode number 3, which is your independent will. May I ask a question? What one important thing which you are doing it on a regular basis, which would have made a tremendous difference in your life so far? Can you answer this question by yourself? If not, you will get this answer at the end of this video. That is the purpose of this episode number 3. So, in case if you have missed the episode number 1 and 2, I would like to give a quick recap on this. The episode number 1 talks about the space between the stimulus and response, which need to be involved with the 4 basic human endowments, which are all self awareness, conscious, imagination, and independent will. The powerful statement of Gandhiji says the British cannot take away our self respect if we do not give it to them. In the same way, nobody can hurt you without our consent. So before respond to any stimulus, we need to involve this all 4 basic human endowments. It means it is a proactive tool, and it is going to talk that you are your programmer. You are your programmer. And the episode number 2 was talking about the personal leadership. What lies within I is much, much bigger than what lies behind and before me. It means it says write your program. How do you write your program? You have to write your mission statement assuming or visualizing your last day of your life or last day of your marriage ceremony, the 25th anniversary of your wedding anniversary, and so on. So it simply says write your program using both of your brains, that is left and right brain. Left is logistic brain and right is the artistic brain. And now, welcome to episode number 3, which is going to talk about the first things always should be first. The personal mission statement was written already in the episode number 2, which is going to talk about here personal management. So it means run the program. You are the programmer. You have to write your program. Now run the program in this episode number 3. So independent will, which is the fourth human endowment, which is most powerful endowment. So which you have to involve in this time management thing. The power to choose and make decision effectively. It means the leaders choose the first things and the managers keep them as first thing. So it's going to talk about time management and how effectively you will manage your time. You might, as being a professional, you might be using the time management technique already, which may be falling under either of these 3 or 4 generations. The first generation time management talks about notes and checklist. The notes and checklist means you are going to manage your things on the go. Whatever the things which are coming, you are writing down in your notebook and making a checklist once it is completed. This is first generation time management. And the second generation time management is a little bit better, which is talking about the calendar and appointment book. And the third generation talks about the prioritizing and the long-term and short-term goals, which is slightly better, and it's about monthly planner and so on. And which we are going to talk is now the fourth generation time management method, which is a holistic approach, which is well balanced. It means it is going to cover your mission, that is whether your ladder is on the right wall or on the wrong wall. So when you write your mission, your ladder is already laid on the wall, and the route map is covering all your roles and goals of your life without dissatisfying anything on the go. So the well balanced time management technique is being discussed in this episode. So now let us understand what are all the 4 quadrants of the time management matrix. The quadrant number 1, which is talking about the important and urgent things, and which is called Q1. And quadrant number 2, which I will call Q2 as important but not urgent. And Q4 is not urgent and not important, which is called Q4. And Q3, which I am going to talk, is not important but urgent things. What these things are about. In Q1, you will see the crisis management, pressing problems, deadline driven, like with a sudden phone call from your boss, then you are not prepared anything and you are under pressure. And you're crying of a baby and ringing of a phone bell and all other pressing problems are deadline driven projects. All will fall under this Q1. And the Q2 is all about the prevention and relationship building in your marriage life and recognizing new opportunities and plan in very advance, and you are prepared for everything which is going to come. And Q3 is all talks about the interruptions, some phone calls, like some email which is popping up, and some meetings which you are not at all necessary in the meeting, but still you have to attend because it has been called, and some friends phone call after a long time during your important work, which are all these things are called Q3 and all called interruptions. And Q4 is a total time waster, the pleasant activities, social medias, memes, and some mocking videos, mocking memes, all those things. If you are wasting your time there, then it is Q4 time management activity. So the results of Q1 activities is stress and burnout. You are under stress always and you are burnout at the end of the day. And Q3 is feel victimized. You don't know how to say no for such activities, so you are getting victimized for this. And Q4 is completely dependent on somebody and totally irresponsible. And Q1, which is going to talk, is that well-balanced mission with a vision and control. Everything will be there under your control because you are already prepared for everything. So these are all the 4 time management quadrants, and our aim is to focus on the Q2. Then you can suppress all the other 4. And how do you move to Q2? So for moving towards the Q2 activity, first you have to eliminate your centeredness. Basically, the centeredness of self-centered, money-centered, friend-centered, work-centered, spouse-centeredness will all fall under the Q1 and Q3. They will not have any preparation for your day-to-day activities. The thing is that once the self-centered guy will always look for something which is important for him, but he may not think like a holistic approach. And the same way with the money-centeredness guy, he will always look for the money. So other centeredness also will fall under similar categories. And this dependent and irresponsible guys will not be under any pleasure centeredness other than any other centeredness. And Q2 means it is a principle centeredness, which is completely principle based holistic approach. In order to move and focus towards Q2, which you have to prepare for everything, you have to eliminate completely Q3 and Q4. So you should learn to say no for such interruptions what you are facing, and for the pleasureness you have to say no. And when you are focusing on Q2 more, the Q1 will get faded away. It means Q1 cannot be avoided completely. Some things are urgent always and some things are important. You have to still have to spend some time, but when you spend more time on Q2, the Q1 time will come down. You no need to prepare and the last minute examination. When you prepared your examination well and last minute you will make only revisions, not like sitting from beginning of A to Z. It means the Q2 will follow, the form follows function, the management follows leadership. The Q2 is a leadership point of view, and when you follow religiously, then you can manage the time very well. And why you should follow the Q2? It is a principle centered, and it is a coherence of roles and goals, working towards your mission. It is a flexible and it is a portable, and it has both long-term and short-term organizing. Long-term organizing means like mission, roles, and goals. And short-term organizing means still the mission will come, roles are under mission and goals. And the short-term organizing thing says about delegation, which is very important. You cannot do everything by yourself. You have to delegate some unwanted activities which is consuming for your time. You have to find a suitable person and delegate this activity. For them it is important, but for you it is unwanted. For example, the working on your website, you can delegate to some third party instead of working by yourself. And other time management, applying a cook for you, instead of you wasting your time in cooking, you can put your cook, and it will be easy for them also. It will be helpful for them, and it's easy for you to concentrate more on other things. And the summary is like identify your Q2 activity, important but not urgent, draw a time management matrix and log your time on it. Then check your time, how your time is spent. This is very important step. When you log your time, these 4 quadrants, where your most of the time is, then you slowly realize yourself and you think about your mission and vision, what you want to achieve in your life. If you think about your vision, then you have to think about how do you manage your time right now. So commit yourself and start organizing weekly It's not like a day-to-day activity. It is a weekly you have to organize, and also day-to-day you have to involve after based on the weekly organizing. I will just explain with a small tool, which is the tool which is prepared by Stephen Covey in his book, and I have made it in Excel just for simplicity. So this tool is going to talk about the personal mission statement also. The personal mission statement will be at the top, and organizational and family mission statement also can be written here. The weekly planner going to say that individual, based on your individual role, what are all the goals for this week, and as a family, what are all the goals, and as a similarly each roles you can write your goals, and as weekly priorities you can write in under these goals which one will come under first based on the weekly priority. Not necessarily that your individual should be first or office should be first. It depends on the role and the priority you can choose. That's why I said it is very flexible time management. And once you've done your weekly this one, you have to spend at least 30 to 45 minutes preparing this sheet for every Saturday in the evening. Then once you write this date, automatically everything will get adjusted based on the Excel program. And the every day, Sunday morning or the Saturday night itself, you can write the day, the next day, what are all the priorities, which is the today's priorities. Based on the weekly priorities, you are summing up for today what you are going to do. And based once you wake up in the morning 5 o'clock, you start logging your activity and how you are planned in the previous day based on this one. If anything you missed out, and you can postpone to the next day, still it is a flexible. And similarly every day before, you will plan well in advance and will start doing this. So it is a holistic approach. You can, if you see that it's focusing on your mission and roles and goals and everything. So, and also it's focusing on weekly priorities and day-to-day priorities. And suddenly some urgent things also will come up, then it will little bit overpower, so that you need to be flexible. Basically the tool should not overpower you. You have to control the tool. This tool is prepared based on that. Everything will be under your control, and everything is focusing based on Q2 activities, which is prevention activities. And thank you for preparing doing this. You need to have a desire to complete this tool. And if you want to really work on this, I can share this Excel tool for your easy usage. Please comment on this comment box, then I can share it to you personally. And thank you very much. The episode 4 will be soon, and thank you very much.